Thank you. As he said, my name is Tom Bever. Yes, my last name is actually Beaver, just like the animal. Also like the vagina. So I was a little bit worried if I was going to make it here on time tonight. I spent all afternoon on one of the scariest roller coasters in New England. Some of you people who live in the city may refer to it as the T. Also, I think of the T, I think of it a lot like the ghetto. It's bankrupt. You fear for your life every time you're in it. And lastly, it's a lot more exciting when you're high or you're drunk. So I was on the T last weekend, and how about the things you see on the T? Just last weekend when I was on it, I saw one person who was drunk as hell. I saw another person doing a cartwheel. And the last person was puking. Unfortunately, all three of these people were me. It looked a lot like this. So did any of you guys happen to catch a Patriots game last weekend? I know. Terrible to be in New England and watch that game. The only reason I mention it, actually one of the reasons I don't want to mention it, is because I'm what you may call a gambling addict. Spent a lot of money on the game, and I'm such an addict that I actually call the number on the back of the scratch tickets for addiction help, and they know me by name when I call them. But the reason I bring up the Patriots is my grandma. She's one of the biggest fans in all of New England. She's been a fan since the beginning of the organization. So I figured after the game I had to try to make contact with her, had to try to talk to her. It was the only right thing to do as a nice grandson. But I wasn't in any type of position where I wanted to talk to anybody at all. So what did I do? I take out my droid, I send her a text. Terrible game, Grandma. Now when she looks at this text message, what she sees is terrible game, Grandma, sent from my droid. So what does my grandma do? She responds, Tom Brady sucks. Sent from my nursing bed, room 208. Oh, Grandma. So, not only has Grandma recently discovered how to text, she also recently discovered how to use Facebook. And I don't know if any of you guys have family on Facebook, but my grandma, she thinks your wall, she thinks it's like sending a letter. So, I'm on my Facebook, and all of a sudden I get a new notification. And her name is only Grandma, so it says new notification, new message from Grandma. So I look on my wall, and what does it say? Dear Thomas, today Grandpa and I went to Demoulas. Now last time we were at Demoulas was about 1996, first of all. And it also says, we went to Demoulas. There was a great deal on strawberries, $2.99 a pound. Unfortunately, they don't get along with my stomach. Let's just say, Grandma and I are no longer friends. Speaking of Facebook, how about all the things people put up on Facebook? Your peers can see them, your coworkers, anybody. So I logged onto Facebook yesterday, for example, and I see this thing going around. Describe your sex life with a movie title. Alright, kind of weird. It already has 1,037 responses in about 16 minutes. So I look at what my peers, colleagues, and coworkers have wrote, and I see some of the descriptions for movie titles. 30 minutes or less, gone in 60 seconds, no strings attached, friends with benefits, Free Willy, and one of my favorites, Snakes on a Plane. So my entire social network gets off in about 30 seconds, has no commitment, or is an absolute freak. So speaking of Facebook and the poll, my personal movie that I would choose is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Now I'm kind of an alcoholic, so more typically than not, actually I am an alcoholic, so more typically than not, it's just the ugly. However, last week, I actually met a good-looking girl, so I was thinking it was gonna be one of the goods. So So this girl, I'm talking to her all night. One of the downfalls with this girl is she was very skinny. Very, very skinny. Anorexic skinny. But there's something about anorexic girls you guys should know about how I feel about them. Anorexic girls are like 10-cent wing night when you go out in Boston. They look good, but they're all bones and no meat. But anyway, so I end up getting this girl's number. I try to bring her back that night, but she still lives at home. So she can't come out, her parents won't let her. Different story. So she says, come over on Sunday, no one will be home. I'm thinking, yes, I'm getting laid, it's gonna be great. I drive an hour to New Hampshire, because that's where she's from, on Sunday. Ring the doorbell. She was right. No one was home. Just a sad night. Also, like I said, a little bit of a brain fart there. It's one of my first times doing stand-up. But like I said, I'm such a drunk. Citizens Bank, they're my bank of choice. They created online banking for me personally, I believe. Not so I can remember how much I spent the night before at the bar, but so I can remember where I left my debit card the next morning. Last week it actually ended up not at a bar. It ended up at Buffet King, also up in New Hampshire. So I gotta go to Buffet King at 8 a.m. the next morning. Surprisingly, they're open for breakfast. They're 24 hours. And I get there, sitting there across that table is the buffet queen. This lady was huge. 8 in the morning, she had about a stack of ribs, yay big, and she had a graveyard of chicken bones on her plate. Ladies, it's never a good sign to be labeled as the buffet queen. I'll leave you guys on one final thought. The thought is, how come it's socially acceptable to ask for a crown at Burger King, but not at Buffet King? I tried. Thank you very much. I'm Tom Bever.
Everybody. Tom, don't worry about putting the mic back in the stand. You're supposed to just drop it on the ground. After that, and then retire from stand-up forever. That was his first time ever doing stand-up, everybody. You're surrounded by a room of people who wish we'd never started. So, welcome to the club. It's like being a vampire. You get some cool powers, but you're really dead inside. Not just. It's great. It was great, right? It was great. Yeah. Clap again. All right. Party. Oh, you guys taking off?